Hey guys, took a poll recently and asked what videos you guys would like. Kind of came back with a lot of advice from Dad. I am flattered, but I guess this is my first kind of crack at it. What I want to talk about today is the idea of the phrase, can you tell me more? Or may you tell me more, however you want to look at it. Permission versus ability, I get it, you know. And how it applies to both children and in a professional environment. So first with children, it's a lot easier, right? When you're dealing with a child who is just learning to speak or they're just exploring the world, you can start with an empathetic approach. They fall down, they bump their head. It happens. They're learning how to walk. You say, "Are you okay?" And then you're okay. You can move on. And that's fine, but then it's, you're okay, let's start playing and re-engaging. They start playing, re-engaging, and they say this or that or toy, door, whatever it is. That's great. What's this? That's your can you tell me more? Very low level. You're talking about a low propensity of speech, and that's fine. And it's getting them engaged of, you've built your rapport, you've got your wasta with them, you understand each other, they understand you care. Now they're saying, okay, I want to show you what I know. Great. Show me what you know. Don't let me tell you what you know. The can you show me more here is, I'm kind of pushing your boundaries. I'm saying, okay, how far is your vocabulary? Are you using these words correctly? Do you understand consequences? Depending on the age, maybe not yet, but that's kind of there. I could do a whole segment on kids and early childhood development and all of that, and I'd be pulling back to my psychology days and all that, but it's great, right? It's a wonderful thing to take part in, kind of understand it. Moving into the professional development side of this, can you tell me more? It takes a very different meaning. So again, you establish rapport, you establish wasta, hey, I care about you, you care about me, we're in this together, we're mutually supporting. As your manager, your leader, whatever it may be, I care. We're past that. Now we're in, how do I continue to maintain that relationship, but also get the most productivity out of my individuals that are underneath my purview of command? Well, can you tell me more? Takes a few different forms, but it all has the same purpose. So if it's something where I need to have empathy, right? You have somebody who just went through a traumatic experience, their car crash, house caught on fire, whatever it may be. It's, oh no, I'm very sorry that this thing happened to you. Well, what are you going to do now, right? That's the can you tell me more? And then it's, you listen and you're active listening and have that, and then it's, okay, well, I can provide you with these resources to assist you in this time. And, how do you feel about that? Again, can you tell me more? It's constantly giving open-ended questions to get a response back from the guys or the gals that you're talking to engage them in the conversation and keep it moving. Show your empathy, show you care, but keep the conversation moving. Now, in a developmental setting, what does that look like? Hey, I see you were working on this project and I saw some of the updates to it or whatever it may be. Can you tell me a little bit about them? Right? Open-ended, let them steer the conversation. You don't want to come in and say, tell me about this. That's closed. That has a distinct end and it has a distinct output. There's a time for that, but not with can you tell me more? Because what you're doing there is you're limiting your options. You're priming them to give you a response, not allowing them to show you what's on their mind. And that tells you a lot about the individual. It tells you about the status of the project. It tells you about, where things are headed, and things you don't know yet because you don't have the full context, because they are working this every day, you are not. So you start open-ended. Tell me a little bit about it. And they start telling you things. Some things will be relevant that you care about, some won't. But the things that are relevant, you kind of latch onto it, and your initial response is always going to be, well, tell me about this. Don't do that. Tell me about this is close-ended. Say, okay, are there issues with this? It's small, but I'm not asking you to tell me about it. I'm asking you, are there issues? I'm still leaving it open, I'm leaving it broad, and then they can kind of discuss things there. And then that leads to, okay, well, what benefits do we have here? I'm narrowing the conversation still, I'm still steering it, but I'm still leaving it open to branches and different things that they may come up with. And then to close it all, maybe you ask some pointed and directed questions, but it kind of goes, hey, what are your concerns? What are their issues? Are there opportunities? Are there downsides? Are there upsides? All of these things, right? You leave it as open as possible. And then it kind of gets to, okay, is there anything I didn't ask you that I should know? Very open, and it doesn't even have to be about what they're talking about. They may come out with something, you're talking about making widgets in a factory, and they're telling you about the parking situation outside, and you're like, well, how's that connected? And then you realize, oh, if guys have no place to park, how are my employees going to get here to work? And now you, as the leader, have things that you can work on to support the mission or support the overall operation that you weren't even thinking about. So the can you tell me more, as a child, it's testing their limits, pushing their knowledge base, letting you be more intimate with them in that respect. And then as an adult, it's, as a commander, it's opening your purview to more than what you expected to gain from the conversation. And working with general officers, working with executives across different branches and cabinet level positions, what I've seen is typically the good ones ask open-ended questions, they shut their mouth early, and they open their mouth late. So they shut their mouth early to let you talk and tell them the things they don't know. They open their mouth late to give guidance. So if you're starting out as a manager or anything there, my advice to you is keep it open-ended, maintain the can you tell me more, keep your mouth shut early, keep your mouth open late. So take the advice in, take the inputs, and then give guidance before you leave. And you know, I've always seen people respond to it a little bit better than when they're asking pointed, directed questions, because then it can get hostile. It feels like you're picking on them or you're getting after something. You may not be, but that's the perception that juniors tend to take from seniors whenever you do that. So for what it's worth, little advice, went a little long here, but I'll do a couple short ones. Thanks for telling me you guys wanted this. I really appreciate it, and advice from Dad. Have a good day.